And welcome back. We have with us members of the Belize Association of Medical Laboratory Professionals. And they'll be talking to us about the professional showcase, which is going to be from the 23rd of April to the 27th. And we have with us the Senior Medical Technology, the President of the Association, Aldo Sosa.
Yes, in the middle.
In the middle. And we have Almira Chuck.
Yes.
Who is a specialist in microbiology.
Yeah.
Wow. And we have Lenicia Gaw, all right? Who is an
immunohematologist.
Yes, you guys did that on purpose.
Works
Welcome,
in the
guys.
blood bank.
Blood bank,
Right.
yes. To
Yeah.
make it more, the term that everybody knows, it would be blood bank.
Blood bank.
Yeah.
Welcome, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having us.
So this is an interesting conversation. The association, we also shorten it as lab tech as well, right?
Right.
It's easier than
Easier.
medical laboratory technician. It's an interesting career, and I think a very essential one in the healthcare system itself. And I want to find out just what prompted you to move into this particular direction for your own career paths. Let's start here.
Okay, first, I always wanted to be in the medical field. That was always something for me. Biology, I understand it's a lot of the humans and especially plants, but unfortunately, I'm not that into the plants, right? So I chose the medical field. So I decided to do the medical laboratory professional field simply because it's saving lives. I mean, every day we're saving an amount of lives. It's a career that people they barely hear of. We're working in the back, you know.
But we see you all the time.
Yeah. So the amount of work we put in, it's incredible. You know, we're saving lives. Sometimes us as lab techs, we don't even appreciate ourselves sometimes and understand the crucial point of what we're doing, right? But it's actually about saving lives, and that's always been something that I'm very interested in, right? I mean, the little bit of work you put in, you could save lives.
Yeah. And for the rest of you?
Well, I actually always wanted to do something in the medical field also. To begin, I wanted to do a nursing, but at the point I studied back in the 90s, and it was much more easier for me to do med lab instead of the nursing or the medical. So I get into it, and I put all I can, and I love what I do. I do it with love.
Yeah.
And then when you do what you love and you get paid for it, it's best. You do it better.
Well, in my situation, I sort of fell into this. You know, I'm working for 16 years in the service now.
Yeah.
I haven't regretted one day though. Yes, you have your challenges, you have your different. I guess like in any place, you always have your ups and downs.
Yeah.
And however, as my companions, my colleagues said, it is gratifying. It is gratifying at the end of the day that you have helped someone. Yes, you might see us a lot in front, but we are a lot behind.
There's
behind
a
the
lot
scenes.
more work, yeah.
More going on behind the scenes.
And that's what I wanted to get at. I think people often see lab techs as people who are withdrawing some sort of sample, collect it, put it somewhere. We don't think about what happens afterwards. What would you, describe to us what your work really entails.
Well, yeah, people always see us as the persons who just take blood. You take blood and you test blood, and that's it. But it goes farther, much farther than that. Yes, we have people who take the sample, but that's just the beginning of the whole process, and that's why intentionally there are my two colleagues here are from different units, from different disciplines in a medical technology, microbiology, and blood bank to give a different perspective, or rather a deeper perspective of what really happens when a blood sample is taken. It's not only samples. We also deal with samples that people don't really like talking about.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yes.
I always
Yeah.
I try to wrap my mind around that one too. Yeah.
So like the urine, the stool, sputum, things.
Sputum?
From saliva, you take it from the throat. So we work with those things.
Yeah.
But also discharges, like
Yes, of course. Yes,
Yeah.
body fluids, basically.
Pap smears.
All body
All body
fluids. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we have.
Could be
s-
kind of
stuff.
abscess.
Yeah.
You can imagine.
Now let's look at the diversification. So microbiology, as a lab tech in microbiology, what do you normally look for?
It depends again on the specimen we're working with.
Okay.
But again, we work with different specimens from urine to stool, vaginal swabs, pus swabs, womb swabs, any kind of swab they send to us, and we screen specifically for those, right? For example, the vaginal swabs. If the patient is pregnant, which we need to know, if she's pregnant, then we screen for a specific organism, the group B streptococcus, which could affect that baby during vaginal delivery, right? It could cause sepsis, blindness, anything. So those are some of the important stuff that we look at. If the patient, for example, is not pregnant and we receive a vaginal swab, she's having some kind of discharge, then we're looking for STDs or simply a yeast infection, okay?
Yeah.
So all of those information is crucial when a patient comes to us.
Yeah. And if you're looking, I mean, you have to find the different kind of parasites that may
Yes.
be in your body. You know, we all have been in the position where you get back a test and you're like, how did that get in me? You know, because you're ill and you're the one that finds what makes us feel ill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, a small input to what my Ms. Chuck just said is that the microbiology department also give the doctor a specific treatment to treat the illness that the patients have. So we detect we find the microorganism, we then provide the doctor a specific treatment to treat the cause of that illness.
Now, your job at the blood bank, we really rely on you as well. You know, I donate blood, and I always tell people one of the benefits is that they will test your blood. You will always know whether or not there's something wrong. Talk to us about what you do.
Well, I actually work in the lab part of the
Yeah.
blood bank. We have the nurse phlebotomist who collects the blood
Sample.
downstairs. She do the collection, the interview, whatever she deal directly with the donor.
Yeah.
I deal with the product.
Yeah.
The product, I refer to the blood, the units, what we collect from you when you go and donate, Marlene. Then I take that to lab upstairs,
Yes.
where I would be cross-checking the blood group. I verify the blood group. I do a forward and reverse grouping on that. I do antibody screening. And I also prepare products. I separate that unit. We collect the 450 cc of blood from you, then we divide that into 3. We have plasma, the platelets, and then the packed cells. We also do cryoprecipitate. So that is what I do upstairs.
What
in
is
the
that?
lab. Cryoprecipitate is a product, a clotting product we use to treat patients with thrombocytopenia. When you have like bleeding and lots of bruises,
Clot part. It has something to do with clotting. Yeah.
lots of bruises and bleeding,
Yeah.
like
People who have a problem
people
with
who
their
have
blood
bleeding
clotting.
problem, yes, clotting problem. Then we do the cryoprecipitates and we transfuse that also to them. So your blood is really, really, really important, and we take and we do a lot of.
And you make sure that it's free of anything that can
Yes.
potentially
So
harm
we-
someone else.
Yes, we have the serology department who do the testing,
Yeah.
which would be for the different infectious sickness,
hepatitis.
hepatitis B, HIV, hepatitis C. We have Chavas. They also do malaria slides. Then we have 2 other tests that we implement, the cytomegalovirus, and we have this B core. So these are 2 other tests we are implementing right now. And the serology department do that. We have, unfortunately, nobody here from serology. But whilst they provide me the results, then I
You move into your other.
do the rest.
Can I ask about capacity? Science. I'm not just talking about the
Very
expertise, I'm talking about the equipment. How is Belize comparatively in terms of world standards for the equipment that we have and the capacity to detect?
Well, for quite some years now, we have been upgrading. And in the past 2 or 3 years or so, there has been even a bigger drive to upgrade equipment to be at par internationally. Now, yes, we do face challenges with infrastructure, with staffing, with furthering of the career of education as well. Those are our 3 main areas whereby we have great. Nonetheless, just for example, this microscope here, while we are able at times to buy, we have partners as well, like PAHO, UNDP, UNICEF, organizations that like that would come and say, you know what, how may we help? How can we upgrade?
Yes.
So instead of buying, asking for, let's say, gloves, then we might say, you know, we need another microscope.
Yeah.
Could you help us with? Because we do have challenges in procuring some of these
Yeah.
equipment, since there's no manufacturer in countries. Everything has to come from outside. But yes, we have been upgrading.
Though you have
Yes.
some really first world equipment, and then you still have some areas where you need to, I mean, like a
Right.
viral load machine. There was the recent
Yes.
serology
The
unit.
COBAS.
The COBAS.
The
That-
COBAS,
yes.
thank you.
Yes.
Covers.
So we have been upgrading in testing to make it faster. Just as an example, she mentioned the serology unit. Results would take a little while because the tests that we were using, you had to batch. You know, if I only test 5 people, I'm really wasting more.
Yeah.
Right? So I need to have, just for argument's sake, 20 people.
Yeah.
Right? And so I need to wait for Monday, Tuesday, and then compile. Well, with the getting it's as I get
As
it,
you
I
get
can
it, you screen.
I can screen, and that speeds the turnaround time for results.
What's the interest in this profession? Do you find more and more people wanting to enter the field?
Yeah, and so far, I think yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why do you think so?
Well, I could think is that I think back in the days, people really didn't have the idea what we used to do. I think we are more in the light now because I have seen we have getting more and more students from UB. Back in the days, we used to get like 4. I think right now we presently have about 12
14.
or 14, somewhere around there. So it seems that I think people are more interested in what we do. And it's pretty nice, pretty cool doing it because we then assist our physician in detecting the illness of the analysis. So we provide them with crucial information to treat the patients, to treat people.
The association that you guys have,
Right.
does it include both the public sector workers and the private sector workers?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it does.
Because you guys all
It
represent
does.
public sector
Right.
institutions.
Right, we're from public sector. However, the association is broad. It encompasses both public and private sector. We do have to go back a little bit to what Ms. Goff mentioned, and referring to the previous question. When I came out of UB, we graduated from UB, it was only 2 of us.
Wow.
So,
Whoa.
yes, we've seen an expansion of people getting to know what is this profession and that it's an alternative, right? I wanted to do medicine, medical doctor. That didn't really work out. Well, like I said, I fell into lab and I just loved it. Now, coming back to the question though of the association, it's been around a little while. However, it's been it hasn't been very
Active.
settled, very active. You know, at different points in time, it has gone dormant, and people have, out of goodwill, out of their own time, they have taken and said, "Let me revive it."
Yeah.
And so that has been happening for the past, I would say, 16 years, 17 years. The first association started in 2001.
About 17
So,
because
um,
right.
unfortunately, the first president went out of the country for a training, and a few months, if you know, September 11, 2001, and he was not a victim of that, but he passed away. And so we are doing our best to. It's challenging. It takes
Yeah.
time from you personally, and that's one thing people are not really willing to do. Take time for
So,
themselves.
what is your hope in having the celebration of Laboratory Technologist Week? What do you want people to know and understand about your profession? And even to the young students who are looking for that career path, what would you say to them? Let's get.
Yeah.
It's just to motivate them and know that it's a wonderful career choice. You know, it's something that you won't regret. You know, if you love it, it won't become a job to you. It will be just, you know, it's your passion, right?
Right.
So so you just encourage them and let everyone know that we do exist. It's not just with drawing, there's much more to it. And let all medical technologists around the countrywide know that they are appreciated, you know, we need to be proud of our profession and let it continue. You know.
I'd like to know, as a somebody in that field,
Right.
I'd like to know, what are the benefits for me as an outsider from the work that the association does? What do you guys advocate for that me as somebody who I probably wouldn't even know that you guys advocated for it, but it made my life better and my experience, my medical, it saved. What are some of the things that you guys are working on or have worked on, which as an association, which has helped the public and they probably are not even aware of?
Okay, that's a very good question. When it comes to the association itself, as I mentioned, it's been dormant and it's revived and so on. So for the past 2 years, we've trying to get the basics settled, getting all the legalities and what have you to get that. So from there we can move on. The main objective of the association is, to put it in broad terms, is to represent the interests of medical laboratory technologists. Now, how will this represent your interests? It's not only money. Many times people think, oh, I'll join a union, I'll join an association just to fight for more money. I think that's, while a priority, we cannot separate that from the reality of life. It should be more somewhere in a lower rank than that. I think I believe that we should be more interested in that the association should help in promoting more quality standards.
Yeah, professionalism.
Professionalism. We have our code of ethics, and we need to encourage our staff, encourage our colleagues, to abide by it and to be able to, you know, we hear a lot of things happening around in different professions, and so we want a profession that is, you know, that we can say, we don't hear about you, and that's because you are doing things right.
Okay. Well, it's good to know that you guys have taken the decision to move the association forward, and we definitely want to say thank you for the work that you do behind the scenes, and obviously you do it with so much passion, and it's really great to hear that. Thank you so much for coming in.
No, thank you very much.
All right. We're going to go ahead now and take our final break, and when we come back, we'll have our wrap-up, so stay tuned.